The Southeast Christian Association of Nigeria chairman and senior special advisor to Ebonyi State Governor Engineer David UMAHI on religious and welfare matters. The parish priest, St. Paul Parish on Ebonyi in Ebonyi State, Very Reverend Father CHUKWUMA, speaking with newsmen on Nigeria at 62 and Ebonyi State at 26 of her creation, he gives an analogy of progress and backwardness of both the nation and the state. Hear him.
Independence and our dear nation 62, it is a cause to be grateful, because in all things and in all situations we remain grateful to God. Who knows what would have happened if the Lord was not on our side? Probably our dear nation would have collapsed by now. Probably our dear nation would have been disintegrated. Who knows what will happen if the Lord is not on our side? Probably Ebonyi would have been consumed by now, and probably the development we are seeing may not have come our way, and so in all things we remain grateful. About Ebonyi at 26, I think we have every cause to be grateful. I keep saying that no human being is perfect. In all our foundational leaders, they have left their imprints. The first is our dear Fregabo, who left us the imprint of the gunning. They had what we call the map of the gunning drawn in the early 70s, and then he set up that foundational imprint. The second was Udoye, who came to and continued, especially with the discipline of civil service. I think that was the time we had what we call discipline of the civil servants and civil servants rule. 8 o'clock in office was 8 o'clock. And then after that came our dear father, His Excellency Senator Sam Ominyego, who was in crazy pursuit of education during our background. Foundationally became a commissioner for education, from there became a governor, and so he gave education the first phase. Since then, no one has mentioned of HIPAC. It was the one that made the first Ebonyans, especially from Abakaliki block, to go overseas and become professionals in specialties in areas of medicine, the area of law, the area of engineering, the area of medical sciences and all of that. Since then was when we have the best graduating law students of Ebonyi State, the best graduate medical students of Ebonyi State. Since then, things have not turned out to be as sweet as it was then. And after him came our dear father, His Excellency Martin Elechi. We call him the builder of bridges of unity. Ebonyi became closer. The areas that we had crossed by canoe became a thing of the past. And so you can walk from your door to your door neighbor. I remember in the early years of my life, no one has ever crossed Azuyamba. I remember then, we used to call it Father Zubike Fazebonyi in Amana. Then we used to go on a canoe to access Azebonyi from Oneke down to Osiri. We used to make a joke as Zubike Fazebonyi. When he came, we all came back. But today, if you take those who are born today, that there was a time when there was no bridge, nothing except a rope and canoe, they won't believe it. That's Martin Elechi. Then after that came our dear father, His Excellency Apostle Judge David Mwezumai. We call him the father of infrastructure. Enthusiastically and passionately, he was in a hurry to make Ebonyi a Dubai of Nigeria. And every blind person will testify to the fact that Ebonyi State has the best of infrastructure development in this political dispensation. No state has beaten it, courtesy of him. And then we saw the distinction of light. Let there be light. With him, it is a hurry to put light even in the caves. And people have turned night business to be louder than they did because there is no IGR. And so when you wake up in the morning, you take your sleep, take your nap, prepare, do everything. Once it is 5, 6, you move, and there is business till midnight. And it has reduced the level of criminality. Good is done in the day and evil is done in the darkness. And so these criminals, they do well when there is darkness. And that has reduced the level of criminality, except the daring ones, the pickpocketers and bag and phone snatchers and cadre snatchers with rifles and little pocket magazines. That is excellence. So for this I said, we're grateful. It has been 26 years of fulfillment. Not that we have arrived, but we have made a very big imprint. We thank our leaders, we thank our stakeholders, we thank the Ebonyans for the relative peace. But there is still much more to do. Hopefully His Excellency will finish the airport and it will help to boost the economy of Ebonyi State, because the economy is jacketed. It's very tight, because outside the few markets there and the allocation of the federal government and IGR, there is no economy. In other states like Enugu or Anambra, you have companies littered here and there. So if that airport is concluded, hopefully to boost the economy. People can move from here to Delhi in India, they can move from here to Yincheng in China, and they can move around and then boost the economy. Hopefully the stadium will be completed and we'll have a way of arresting our youth who are engrossed, soaked in Ukurumiri and all these hard drugs. And they will be able to do a good exercise and express their youthful exuberance in a positive way. And hopefully the ring road will be completed and we'll have a way of evacuating our products, so that even those in the rural areas will be affected by the development. So with this I said, we have done very well. We're grateful to God. We need a lot in the area of education. Sometimes it is difficult and they feel that our father is too hard. But the truth is, both in Europe, both in the US, they are all handing over hurriedly schools to the mission. We should summon the political will and courage to hand over our schools to the mission. Government is no manager of any business. Government cannot manage schools. Go to Europe today. All of us are struggling to go and study in Europe. What government does is give them subventions and play a supervisory role. Go to our public schools. Despite the good effort of His Excellency in the provision of infrastructure and that of Quebec, most of these beautiful buildings are without pupils, and the ones that have pupils are without teachers. So let the government hurriedly, with the political will, hand over these schools. Anambra has done beautifully well. P2B held the bull on the horn, and so handed over the schools to the mission. Enugu is doing the same. His Excellency Martin Lechiu wanted to do it but couldn't because of time. His Excellency, our dear governor, also wanted to do it, but because of the limited resources, because those early missionaries, proprietors and founders said, we do not need dead schools, we need them to be renovated. But someone, somewhere must take that challenge. Secondly, in the area of health, I've also done well, because everything almost now in the federal, in the FETA, especially in the emergency unit, and all these are provided by the state government instead of the federal government. But God has been so kind in sustaining us. If there should be serious epidemic, Ebonyi will capsize. We need our general hospital, which so much have been invested infrastructurally, to be funded for functioning and functional general hospitals. Our health centers are there. What do we need? This administration has done much and is also going. The next administration should focus on staffing those general hospitals. Focus on staffing those health centers. You do not need to staff them with very expensive doctors. Let our housemanship doctors be done there. Let the UCOS, the medical scientists and all this will be done there. And give a supervisory consultant from time to time. That is the way to harness brain, harness intelligence and zeal, and start what I call local community health insurance. So these our elderly ones will access free medical care. In all my studies in Europe, I enjoyed free health care. I enjoyed social security. If you do that here, we'll be doing tremendously well. We are far better than comparatively other states of the Southeast. If you move around, you know that there's no road anywhere in Southeast except in Ebonyi. If you move around at night, you see there's no light anywhere in Southeast except in Ebonyi. If you move around, you see there's nowhere there is a big help of those in crisis except in Ebonyi. If you move around, you see there's no state that have this kind of empowerment going on except in Ebonyi. If you move around, you find that there is nowhere patients are being discharged in any hospital in Southeast except in Ebonyi. You move around, you see there's nowhere widows are helped in their thousands except in Ebonyi. If you move around, you discover nowhere that churches are carried on ecumenically, all working together, and they have cars and lands and given to them, and churches are assisted except in Ebonyi. Ebonyi is unique. Not only are we salt of the nation, we are what we see as the light of the nation. Nigeria as a nation has not done very well security-wise. It's clear. No nation in the whole world where criminals will take over the security of the nation more than the military. We need to beef up our military. We need to secure our forests. In fact, there should be a bill to clearing our forests, so that transparently we can see what is there. It needs a political courage. And if life is threatened, there should be a bill like Europe, like in US, that everybody should carry weapon. That law is there in Europe. You must be armed to save your life. You say the proliferation of arms will bring about killings, and the killing is not going on now. You can even kill with the hands by strangulating. So if everybody knows that what you know others know, at least you will ask questions about knowledge. So we need to do more nationally in the area of security. We need to do more in the area of the economy. The dollar has crashed our naira. In the 70s, 80s, it was $1 to a naira. In the early 90s, while we were there, it was $1 to 100 naira, 200 naira. Today, $1 to 720 naira. That's crashing. And great economic prophets are talking about $1 to 1,000 naira before December, when the politicians will hack our dollars in the central bank.
Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, The Mirror TV on YouTube, The Mirror on Facebook, The Mirror TV on Twitter. Subscribe and follow us, and we shall be giving you updates of the activities here in Ebonyi State and across the globe. For advert placement or sponsorship, call the number showing on the screen or email us at MBAM